Greetings. Welcome to Limitless Alchemy 808. I'm Patience, but for today, I'm also Ego Death. I wanted to record a segment here because I'm about to head out to see Mayhem, and there was something that I just want to talk about real quick. So corpse paint, the way Mayhem started, was he the guitarist, I believe? I can only remember the singer's name right now, but the guitarist started the band with, I think, the bassist and the drummer, and they were looking for a singer, and they were, they're from Norway, and he mostly was like wanting to outdo death metal. So the whole Florida scene with like all the bands that they felt weren't metal enough, and so they wanted to take it a step further. And since in Norway it's heavily Christian, it's just very stoic Christian culture, and this was just a way for them to rebel and have fun and stir things up. So they found a singer. His name was Dead. That's what he went by. And they started gaining momentum, and they were able to just like have a record shop, and the guitarist, he he ran a store and basically was like made himself, the father of black metal. So it ended up that Dead used a shotgun on himself, and he had made many attempts on himself leading up to that point. So all the band members were aware, but the one dude, he just felt he was so metal, like, so they were a band. Well, when Dad was found, he was found by that one guy. If you've seen Lords of Chaos, I think it's called, then you know the backstory of Mayhem. But if you haven't, so he used pieces, he said he used pieces of Dead's skull to make necklaces for each band member to wear, and they told everyone that because they wanted to be very shock value, right? So, but he ended up getting killed by some other dude who's a Nazi and will remain nameless because we don't advocate fascism on this channel. We give cold shoulder to that. So I wanted to just bring this up because I had mentioned in a previous video that I overcame ideations of taking myself out, and I know that you have too, that you have transmuted those thoughts because they're not yours. You're aware of that now. And those thoughts were the conditioning of the traumas that were just hiding in the shadows. But now that you've addressed those triggers and you've come to know that all of this is a projection, we're all just static with auras. It just doesn't, it dissolves, basically. In the case of Dead, he had untreated disorders, so mental disorders, and he was self-medicating with illicit drugs and alcohol. So it happened the way it happened. And he was from Sweden and Norway, so he was separated from his family, but I am under the impression that he didn't want to be around his family, so I will say though that in the times when those ideations were an issue, I was talking to my sister and I told her that I have these ideations and then I think about my sons and what example I would set for them, and basically fighting for them. And she told me, she says, you have to fight for yourself. You have to find a reason to fight for yourself. And so I thank my sister that she activated that part, that aspect, because it was not long after that I had addressed my childhood traumas and confronted the person that was aware they were going on, but was too frozen in her own shadow to be anything but complicit. And now I'm just having fun. I love black metal. My eldest got me into it. I like metal. I mean, as a child, touched here and there with Cannibal Corpse, and then in high school, the new metal and everything. So I wasn't really too into it. I do like Deftones. My son doesn't, but that's okay. And but black metal is like, it's so fun. You get to express yourself in such a way that is a clear mirror to others. It's a very clear mirror, because the last time my son and I did corpse paint, when we saw Cannibal and Mayhem in San Diego a couple years ago, we went to eat dinner, and then in the parking lot had an altercation with they were Republicans. I mean, the husband was throwing politics into everything, so I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't getting political here, but they really, I mean, it was October, and she told her baby, look, honey, it's a scary monster, and she was talking about my son, and like, I get it, but I knew what she meant. I knew what she meant, and she was trying to veil it as, oh, but it's Halloween and da-da-da. I'm like, but we're not at an event that has scary monsters. And so the husband, he was at the time I was triggered about it. I was very upset. I was very upset for my son. And I look back and I'm like, that's never gonna happen again. And should it, I'll just either ignore it or laugh. What else is there to do? It's all for fun. It's all for theatrics and show. So why not enjoy it?